Hello, 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 everyone. I have the full-blown Canadiana attire on for you. I'm freezing, so I got the toque, the sweater, the Canadian tuxedo, many of us call it, as I walk you through the Accelerator blueprint that we put together for you guys, which is a step-by-step guide to really help you get clarity and dial in on what to focus on first and what really truly matters for over 40 fat loss, performance, having a high functioning metabolism, which means energy, right? In this decade and beyond. Okay, so the purpose of this is really to start getting you setting the foundation, because what I've learned with working with hundreds of women and doing this for over 10 years in this space and being in the health and wellness industry for 25 years and being a former professional athlete is that when we're not getting the results that we want, the first thing that we look at is, guess what? What are we eating wrong? What are we doing wrong? Am I working out wrong? What's wrong? How can I change what I'm eating? Something must be. We look for the meal plan, we look for the challenge, okay? And this blueprint is to change the narrative a bit. Some of it is going to sound familiar, and if it does, that's good, because this is it, okay? And in the 3M system to rev your over 40 metabolism is what the system that I take my clients through. We always talk about building the foundation and the framework first. We have to, or it's just not going to last. It's just going to be another 10-day, whatever, 6 weeks, whatever that you've done before, and it worked until it didn't work. Okay. It's like, I always give the analogy of building the puzzle, and you know how I always do the corners first. Okay. This is the corners. This is what the corners that we're doing here. Okay. And you'll hear me say this a lot. And if you decide to join us in the offer that I'm going to give you in here, even more in a couple weeks, you're going to hear me talk about priming. Because in our 40s, when we build that foundation, we need to first and foremost prime our hormones. Okay. What does that mean? That means we need to get them talking to each other again. There's no such thing as balance. Balance doesn't exist in life and in your hormones. Okay. But we can do is have them signaling properly, getting in tune with each other and with other systems and signals, including in between what's up here. Okay. We need to prime, then we shape, then we integrate. That is the three principles behind the 3M system. We're all about threes for some. My favorite number is actually 4, but it's all about the threes. So you're going to hear me say prime. This is where the blanket solutions missed you before. This is where why the eating clean and working out constantly isn't giving you the results. Okay. Because the signaling, the priming is not working. Okay. So check this out. In a couple of weeks, we are doing the Reignite Your Athletic Fat Burning Hormone Challenge. This is a free challenge just in our community, okay, where we'll do an extra group actually, because I go live daily coaching. There's worksheets, there's action tasks, very simple, because that's key, because we're very busy people. And the goal here is to start getting you priming. What does that mean? Like physiologically, how you feel? Lighter, less cravings, sleeping better, more stable energy through the day. That's when we know things are starting to prime. Then we can ask our body to shape. Okay, most blanket solutions just skip right to like working out hard, eating clean, tone, shape, get strong, get that athletic self back, right? Doesn't work that way in our 40s. Okay, so if you want to join us, this is like a pre-registration, it's a Google form. Click there, put in your information, then we will be in contact with you with all the details, access to the private closed Facebook group that's only for the challenge. That's where all the content and training and everything from me will house. Okay, so, and that's the 15th and 19th. So this is a perfect pre-entry to that, okay, to get you to get really in the sense of lightness, more energy. That's the biggest one right now, right? Because with everything so uncertain and the world still going, right? Oh my gosh, kids are back on Monday here. Okay, so I feel it too. Okay, hence the attire. But we can keep it simple. and integratable in your life. This is what we talk about with my clients in the 3M system all the time. It has to integrate. Prime, shape, integrate. Okay, so let's dive in, guys. First and foremost, if you've ever seen me speak before or been to any of my live trainings, or excuse me, my clients hear me talk about this all the time, is first and foremost, we need to create your health vision. Sounds fluffy. It's not. It's actually based on neurological science. Okay, because here's the reality. Most of us have spent decades trying to figure it out, or we have, and then all of a sudden it's not working, and we're playing the game of I should and I shouldn't all over again. Okay, goals are amazing. Have the goal. I want to lose 15 pounds. I want to run a half marathon. I want to do a triathlon. Let's meet this summer. I want to get stronger. Okay, I want to lose the belly fluff that all of a sudden I'm good everywhere else, but all of a sudden this belly fat showed up. How do I get rid of it? Okay, have the goal. But the difference is that we need to make sure that we connect the present to the goal. Okay, this is why New Year's resolutions don't work, because everyone focuses on changing behaviors to the goal. They don't have the vision, right? We need to connect what that's going to feel like. What's it going to feel like to lose 15 pounds? How's life different? What are you doing day to day? When you wake up and look in the mirror, how does it change? When you run that extra mile, how does that feel? We have to connect it. This is why when you watch the shows like The Biggest Loser, they lose all the weight and then a year later they've gained it all back. Because if we've gotten to that goal of losing the inches, 12 inches, 3 months, you've lost it, but we haven't, one, enjoyed the journey getting there and connected the dots and that vision of what it's like to be there. And you might not know, make it up. Imagine, this is where daydream is amazing. Then guess what? Your brain's going to do everything in its power to revert back to what it knows. Late night snacking, cravings, binge weekends, maybe not eating enough, right? Controlling the apps, because that's what it knows. Brain has two functions: keep you alive, give you pleasure, and it fights like heck for it. So we create a vision instead of just goals, okay? And then we work on the outcomes to get to that vision, and we connect the dots on the way. Very big. And if you don't know what it is, I totally understand, because most women don't know what they vision for themselves. They know they want to lose 15 pounds, maybe want to run a half marathon, but what does that look like, feel like? How's life different? Okay, because you've been doing so much for everyone else for so many years. When you have to put that energy and think about what you want, you want to work out, you like it. You want to, do some things. So I want you guys to really sit on it, sit in a quiet place, tell the kids to bugger off for a little bit and really ponder. Okay, what do you want? And if you stick at the 15 pounds, ask yourself why 3 times. I want to lose 15 pounds. Why? I want to be more comfortable in my clothes. Why? Because I don't want to struggle every morning and hate putting on stuff and being stuck in Lululemons, though it's been amazing for the last year. I want you to go beyond. Okay. I am giving you some triggers here on how to walk yourself through that, because again, it is the unknown for many of us. Okay, so I really want you to sit in this and think about it. This is not something that is a one and done. Okay, my clients all the time, how does it feel? What's going on? How's the vision? We always make sure that we're connecting the dots to that goal and the vision. This was what makes things lasting. Okay, first and foremost thing before, when we do the quick start guide in our program, right away, part of that is your vision, setting your intention, fluffy stuff, if you will, if you want to call it. Okay, so, but make sure you do that. That's first and foremost. Okay, it's got to be more than just 15 pounds. Then if you lose the weight, what happens after? Okay, or tone up, get strengthened, whatever the goal might be. Okay, second step is firing up your metabolism. Seems like makes sense. Your metabolism is like the engine to your car. It tells you when to rev and when to slow down, and it talks directly, obviously, yes, to your thyroid, but also to your hypothalamus in here. Okay, so it's the one that says to you're really nervous making a big speech. It's saying, oh, slow down digestion, shut everything down, conserve energy. Something's going on here. She's super nervous and scared. Okay, your metabolism controls a lot. Okay, it actually doesn't decrease that much as we age, but what happens is lifestyle triggers really start to affect it, and it's not as efficient, right? And it's directly controlled by fat storage hormones, fat burning hormones. Okay, when I talk about in the challenge, ignite your fat burning hormones, that's what we want. Okay, we talk about that hormonal hierarchy and how we can feed that, how we can nourish that. Okay, so first thing is first, and you guys will probably read this and be like, well, that's lame and super elementary, Moni. Eat 3 meals a day. It is, but do you know how many women over 40 don't do it? Or they're still fasting in the mornings? Fasting is not a diet. I'll say it right here, right now. Fasting is a tool. Do we use it in 3M? For some clients, yes. Okay, but it's not a diet. It's a tool. So, but your body needs consistency, and having the 3 key meals a day, then it knows your hormones, fat burning and storage know how to start playing with each other. Then they know how to start priming. Okay. Your fat cells, we don't burn fat cells, they get released. Your body will not release the fat to be used. Okay. It has to be picked up and used if those hormones are not talking to each other. Doesn't matter how hard you work out and how clean you eat. Start with 3 consistent meals a day, please. Okay. Doesn't mean you have to be 9, 1, and 5, but within range, stay away from the constant snacking. Okay. Number 2, snacking. The 5 mini meals a day. We heard that. That may have worked in our 20s and 30s. Keep your metabolism revving because you're constantly digesting. Not here. The big player of the game that we're going to be talking about a lot in the challenge is insulin. Okay, one of our fat storing hormones, the base with cortisol in our hormonal triangle. That's one of the things that I'm going to be working with you one-to-one in that 5-day challenge to get talking to each other nicely so we can naturally release the fluff. Okay, because you know how to eat healthy, you know how to work out. We got to prime the hormones. Okay, so no mini meals, please. Okay, snacks are only there if you need them. Only there if you need them. Example, have lunch at noon, back-to-back Zoom meetings till 5, 6 p.m. Then you got to make dinner. Then it's like 7 p.m. That's 7 hours, 6.5 hours, too long between a meal. Okay, then you definitely need a little snacky in there, or else you're just going to rage on every carb that you see in the house. Okay. The second one I have in here is prioritizing protein. You guys have probably heard the benefits of protein and obviously muscle building and getting long, lean muscle, and for satiation, but it's also super important to help us build some certain hormones, key hormones that help in that hormonal hierarchy. Okay. The 2 big ones here are HGH, human growth hormone. It's not just for the sprinters that are on steroids. It is actually a big player when it comes to women that really want to tone and shape and have that long, lean, athletic physique that they had a decade ago. And it can happen. 40s and 50s, it can happen. Okay. So we need to focus on the HGH. And then we also focus on serotonin, which is your feel-good hormone, which is from like puppies and kisses and love and romantic movies, only with Matthew McConaughey. I love him. He has a good book out too. Serotonin, big. Okay, so it also has a higher thermogenic effect compared to the other macronutrients out there, your carbohydrates, your fats, your proteins, and your fiber. Okay, I just repeated proteins, but you get my drift. Meaning it takes a lot of our metabolism and energy to break it down, compartmentalize, push out what's good nutrients in the bloodstream, etc. It takes a lot of energy. Okay. Calories. We're not about calories in, calories out, but protein. So we want to make sure that we're getting good quality proteins in every single meal, plant-based or animal-based. Totally your prerogative. Okay. Plant-based is just as good. I actually encourage it. All right. We're not totally listen, I'm Argentine background. I like my meat, but we do have some vegans and vegetarians here, and that's totally respectful. So it can be both sources. Okay. Chia seeds and hemp seeds are actually a fantastic sources of protein and healthy fats. Number 3 is sleep. Again, something that seems so elementary, but is an amazing in North America how much we actually devalue sleep. We know that we need it. We know that we don't get it a lot of the time. And we really devalue it. We all know what good sleep hygiene means, meaning limit the blue lights, hard caffeine before bed, dark, cool room, setting the stage, relaxing, you're getting into rest and restorative mode. We all know what sleep hygiene is, but we need to really make sure that we take it a step forward and use this as a foundational piece. Because over 40, more than anything, we need that time to rejuvenate, restore, and guess what? Rid. What's the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning? You're ridding, okay? So obviously we know what the lack of sleep does. It triggers obviously cortisol, because your cortisol is, yes, it's a stress hormone, but it's also your get stuff done hormone, gets you going in the morning, okay? And when this signal comes into play, your body is triggered to hold on to fat for protection, okay? Because it just feels metabolically groggy, like I measured it here, okay? So quality sleep is very important. The action here for you guys is really straightforward, okay? Really try to get that 7.5, 8 hours of sleep a night. Quality sleep. Make sure I put an alarm on my phone. Listen, this is a big one for me. Over 25 years. I'm a night owl. I will stay up till 4 in the morning working if you let me. I love it. It's my alone time. People are in bed and I'm just like, I got The Bachelor on the background and I'm doing my thing, okay? It's super important to get the sleep. You will not lose fat if you're not sleeping well consistently. Won't happen. Okay. So let's do that. I got a couple tips here about staying away from devices. Blue light is big. If you guys should have these are my new blue light glasses. Okay, they got the tint in here. If you're in front of screens all day and Zoom meetings all day, and making sure that caffeine is a big one. Okay, and I know a lot of us are like loving the caffeine right now. Really making sure, I even say like 3, 4 p.m. put the kibosh on the caffeine. Okay, especially, yeah, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. Okay, so step number 4, this is our good old friend. Okay, again, in the challenge, we're going to be talking about this a lot in our hormonal hierarchy because that baseline is insulin and cortisol. Okay, so we all know what stress is. We all feel it in different ways. Some people are like, don't really feel stress. Other people are like, I feel like the weight of the world on my shoulders. So whether it's, the chronic stressors that's going on, but also remember how you eat, if you're sleeping well, the yo-yo dieting, how you're working out can also be the environment around you. Okay, city versus urban, whatever, can also be forms of stress on your body. Okay, it's like ass. I honestly think, and I say this over and over again to clients, I honestly think 40s and plus is the most gong show of a time. There's so much of our plates. We're like taxi drivers, ailing parents, changing careers, sometimes moving, changing houses. Kids are transitioning into adulthood sometimes, right? I still have littles, but there's so much that we feel that we're taking care of because we're nurturers. Okay, so we need to always go back to the sleep and stress. Okay, it's not something that you're like, I'm going to do this 2-week accelerator with Moni and then be totally fine. It's something that we always have to keep on, be aware of. Okay, so read through this. I give a little bit of background on the cortisol and some really simple actions that we can do to cut it. Do you want to call it self-care, which is super marketed right now? Self-care is super, super important, but it means different things to different people. And there's passive and active self-care, which we talk about in the 3M, okay? So I just gave you some examples here. The amount of time and energy that you want to spend booking in your workouts because you have this feeling of guilt that you don't fit it in, book this time in. That's how important it is. And be present with it. Don't do it and like scroll through Instagram, like be present with it and breathe and laugh, like whatever. Okay. So breath work is super important. I do have a separate resource. If you feel like, yep, Moni, I am stressed, then PM me and we will get you. I have a separate resource that just talks about stress. Okay. Because it is that important. So PM me and I can get you that as well. All right. The last one here is watching your workouts. Because here's the thing, again, how we work out and what we do and the intensity that we do it is one of the key things that we go to when we want to lose fat and we want to tone up. And all of a sudden we got this tire around our belly. We don't know, we woke up and it's like, it's there. Thanks to estrogen. So we, most of us, majority of us like to work out. We have this athletic self. It doesn't go away. I don't mean that you have to be a professional athlete or played high level amateur athletics. You have that in you. You're active as a kid. You're active as a teen. You're active in your 20s. You just like to move. Okay. You're competitive. Okay. It doesn't matter the levels. You still see that in your future. You still see yourself, going for a run with friends, or maybe doing a triathlon like I want to do this summer. You see that. That's your athletic self. That doesn't go away. It can still be there. So working out necessarily isn't the issue. We love to do it. We find time to get it in there, but we have to make sure that we are incorporating hormone balancing movement in there. What does that mean? That means that with the intensity, we need to balance it. Okay. Because, and it depends on you, like can totally give examples. Does it mean that you can never do like your F45 class back to back, or, train for a marathon because you're running like 80 miles a week? No, but we incorporate hormone balancing and movement in there because your body needs time. You're not as metabolically reactive. Your body needs time to heal. Super important when we want to shape. Super important. Okay. Because again, if your body is in a state of stress, you will hold on to fat for dear life because it's protection. Okay. So everyone's like, well, I don't know if I'm working out too hard or not enough. I ask you to ask this question after your workouts. How do you feel? Are you totally zapped for energy the rest of the day? Are you sore for days after? Because then we have to look at it. Okay. What's the goal? What do we want from it? Okay. We're going to talk about this a little bit in the challenge for sure, because this is a big thing, because we want sweat equity, right? You want the results from the workouts. You want to see toned, lean muscle. You want to have the flat belly. It's not about having a six pack, but you want to be toned and not have the button line, right? The pant lines sticking into your gut, or the muffin top, or whatever it may be. And we can do that. Okay. We just have to do it in a different way. Okay. Doesn't mean that there's this fancy movement that you have to do and work into your workouts. No. Okay. Again, I don't want to jump down that rabbit hole, but we will touch on it in the challenge. So make sure that you guys sign up. I'm going to say this to you guys because you're action takers. If you do have a friend that wants to join, then I'll send you guys the formal invitation first. You can forward it to them. Okay. We like to usually keep it small, because in the coaching, there's interaction. Like, I want questions. You want to be coached, right? Free professional coaching. Yes, please. Okay. So, and that's the whole thing, the challenge. We want to take you from day 1 to day 5. We want a transformation in there. Okay. We want a quick win. We want you to start feeling better. We want to feel that lightness, energy stable, cravings gone. That's the goal. Anyways, I'm really excited about the challenge. Can you tell? So take this, read it over again. Put your toque on if you'd like. And if you have any questions, just PM me and let me know. And, I'm super excited about this. This is it. This is the foundation, guys. Trust me. And some of it, you're like, I already knew that. It's more important now than ever. Okay. So let's keep in touch. I'm excited to see you guys a couple of weeks inside of our Ignite Your Fat Burning Challenge group. And in the meantime, I'll see you in our bigger group. How do I stop the recording? There we go.